final introduction is being made by Rich Reichert, who's had a front row seat to Chris Johnson's lifelong love of movies, family, and community.
It is my honor to introduce my friend and business associate, Chris Johnson. Most people know Chris as the guy who owns and operates their local movie theater. Some know him as the CEO of a large regional movie theater chain, but there's much more to Chris. Chris's late father and wife founded Classic Cinemas when they began operating the Tivoli Theater in Downers Grove in 1978. Chris's first job at the Tivoli was certainly not glamorous. Years before, the previous owner had upgraded the theater's seats, storing the old seats in the basement. The seats needed to be removed, and Chris got the job when his older brother quit after only one day of moving the old seats from the damp and dingy space to a dumpster out back. Chris was glad to get the $3 an hour job, and when finished, had filled 7 30-yard dumpsters. After his stellar career as an usher, he would manage theaters and eventually would manage the entire theater chain alongside his father. Chris is a visionary who has taken the theater into the 21st century and beyond. He knew that consumers wanted to watch first-run movies in comfortable chairs with plenty of legroom. He reduced the capacity of nearly all of his auditoriums by more than 60%, removing old seats and installing the latest seating, a conversion that made his father a bit skeptical. The conversion was a smashing success. I could go on and on about his professional accomplishments, but Chris is much more than that. He's a proud husband and father. He's an avid cyclist and collector of bicycles. He enjoys going fast and is quite the go-karter. He's involved in local charities, and among his favorites is the H Foundation, which raises money for cancer research at Lurie Cancer Center of Northwestern University. He loves his community. He is fun. He's a great storyteller, most of them true stories. He has a great sense of humor. Although his former title is CEO of Tivoli Enterprises, he also brags about his favorite title, CPE, Chief Popcorn Eater. And when asked about the derivation of the Tivoli name, Chris is quick to point out it's really just I love it spelled backwards. Not coincidentally, he loves movies and the experience you get seeing them the way they were intended, on the big screen with popcorn and a beverage, of course. And don't be surprised to see Chris and his wife, Sue, sitting in one of his theaters, watching the latest release and laughing along with everyone else.
Thank you, Rich. That was good, and the go-karting part, we just did a charity event, go-karting race, and we had a blast doing that. I want to thank Rich also for everything that he does in Elmhurst and the DuPage community, and for believing in me when the pandemic shut us down for 13 months. He took a risk when other banks walked away, and together we survived and are better for it. And I want to thank everyone at the College of DuPage for this honor and congratulate my fellow distinguished alum. And I imagine that all our stories began in the same place, with an opportunity regardless of circumstance. And thank you to everyone gathered here today. I'd like to share a personal story that sums up both my gratitude and a realization that shaped much of my life. Years after I graduated from COD and well into my career, I was driving through our neighborhood and I would see all these flags hanging from houses from other schools, whether it be Illinois, Ohio State, Iowa, Michigan, Notre Dame, Northwestern, each waving proudly a small declaration of, this is where I came from. But not one of them said College of DuPage. And I thought, that's odd because I should be flying one. So I decided to fix that. And on April 12th, 2011, I emailed the bookstore. I'm looking for a full-size COD flag that would hang from a flagpole. Do you have any that I could purchase? I'm an alum, and I'd like to display it on my house. They replied the next day, sorry, but that's not an item we have available. If you're interested in other gifts, please visit our website. I was surprised and honestly determined, so I called the bookstore directly and asked if they knew where to get one. They didn't. The closest thing they had was a pennant. Crestfallen, I let it go. But I'd still bring it up now and then to anyone who would listen. Over the years, I was invited a few times to sit down with Gary Zidek on WDCB to chat about cinema business, and on occasion I mentioned my COD flag story to everyone who worked there. It almost became a running joke, my search for the COD flag. Fast forward to this February when I got a call from Jill McWilliams, who told me she had a full-size COD alumni flag waiting for me. 14 years after that first email, I finally had a flag, and that simple act of seeing it wave in front of my home felt like something much more. That flag reminded me of something deeper, how hard-won my own education was, and how much this school helped me in my path forward. I was 6 years old when my dad moved out, and my mom was left to raise 5 kids on her own. It wasn't easy. College wasn't even a discussion. It was something other families did. My 2 older siblings didn't go, and I wasn't sure I would either. My mom had taken college courses in her 30s, here at COD as a matter of fact, but she stopped pursuing her own education to focus on us. By the time I graduated high school, I wasn't sure who I was supposed to be, a carpenter, an accountant, maybe both. What I did know was that I had to figure it out while working 2 jobs to make ends meet. COD became the only real option I could afford. And I enrolled mostly out of practicality, but what I found there turned out to be much more than convenience. It was just the beginning. And during my first quarter, before they had semesters, I remember a friend once asked me to skip class, and I wanted to learn, so I said no, and that small decision changed everything. COD taught me the most important lesson in life: you get what you put in. The professors, the classes, the expectations, they were every bit as serious and challenging as what I would later experience. Years later, that lesson came personally full circle when my mom, at age 54, re-enrolled at COD. 2 decades after giving up on her own education, she went back, finished her degree, and graduated with high honors just before her 60th birthday. Yeah. Yes. That's what this place represents: opportunity regardless of circumstance. Over the years, I received my share of industry accolades and awards, but I can tell you this one means, none mean quite as much as this one, because today I get to fly the COD flag with genuine pride, not just for myself, but for my mom, my family, and for everyone who's ever started out from humble beginnings and made something greater from it. That flag is more than fabric. It's proof that determination pays off, that effort matters, and that the simplest idea, what you put in is what you get out, can carry you further than you've ever imagined. I once wrote on a social media post that I'm proud to be a COD alum because it gave me the foundation I needed: saving money, gaining experience, learning discipline, all of which prepared me for my future education at UIC and later at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. That foundation led to my current role, to the privilege of leading the company I love, 490 dedicated team members, serving over 3.2 million theater goers each year. And yes, that is more than the Cubs. Yeah. And to this moment here with you today. So thank you to the College of DuPage, to the teachers who made a difference, to my family who believed, and to everyone who still waves their flag proudly. Because this flag, it means everything to me. Thank you.